The deafening sound of explosions shakes the ground. Missiles crash down as she grabs her two daughters and rushes them to the basement. Her paralyzed husband cannot be moved. She leaves him behind, praying for his survival. When the chaos subsides, she rushes back to find the house in ruins. Will he still be alive? The tension is unbearable. What has she lost in this war? This is a woman whose life has been consumed by care and hope for a man who cannot respond. Her 30-year-old body has borne the weight of caring for her paralyzed husband. And yet, after 16 days of praying for his recovery, the despair begins to sink in. The doctor promised his condition would improve, but after weeks, nothing has changed as bombs fall. Her internal turmoil is palpable. She's haunted by his silence, the life they should have had but never did. The war outside rages on, but the true battle is inside her own home. She tends to her daughters, who continue to seek the simplest necessities: food, water, comfort. Their world is slowly being reduced to rubble. She ventures out with her daughters to find food, but the city has turned into a battlefield. Armed militants pass by, exchanging gunfire. No one flinches. The woman returns to the pharmacy in search of medicine for her husband, but the shopkeeper turns her away due to unpaid debts, leaving her feeling even more desperate. With no money, she's forced to return home and use what little she has, a dropper of salty water, to feed him, still hoping he'll wake up. Each day is a quiet struggle. She continues to talk to him, asking for his permission to leave the house or to visit her aunt. But he remains silent. His brothers and mother have fled, leaving her to endure alone. The woman grows weary of the constant reminders of abandonment, especially from the man who once promised to protect her. The truth comes out in painful bursts. Her husband's paralysis was not a random act of violence. He was shot by a comrade, someone from his own homeland, who betrayed him after losing a fight. The woman grapples with this betrayal, the emotional wound far deeper than the physical one. Desperation drives her to seek out her aunt, the last family member who hasn't abandoned her. But the aunt's home is empty, and she's left alone with her thoughts, realizing that the war is closing in on her life. The soldiers are coming. The city is under siege. She returns home, and as her daughters sleep, she has a moment to pray for her husband's survival. She can't bear the thought of losing him, even though their marriage has long been empty. The woman's pain deepens as she realizes she's never been truly seen by her husband. The man she married was never there emotionally, and the more she reflects on it, the more she resents him for it. One day, as the woman struggles with the weight of her thoughts, a soldier arrives at her door. He's young, inexperienced, and desperate. He offers money for a moment of intimacy. At first, the woman resists, feeling the weight of shame and guilt, but she agrees. The encounter is brief, transactional, and leaves her in tears afterward. She doesn't know how far she's willing to go to survive this war, but each choice she makes leaves her more and more conflicted. Her guilt lingers, and soon she begins to question the choices she's made. She confesses to her husband, knowing that he would have killed her for what she's done. But she still can't stop herself from admitting that she feels more like a woman with this soldier than she ever did in her marriage. Her own body betrays her, and the soldier's presence becomes a reminder of her brokenness. Her actions spiral, leading her to make another discovery that shakes her to her core. Both of her daughters are not her husband's biological children. She had tried for years to conceive, but her husband's infertility was a secret she kept hidden. Desperate to give him an heir, she turned to other men, hoping for a miracle. The woman's confession to herself about this truth unravels the life she's built. Her relationship with her husband, the family they created, was based on lies and deception. When her husband awakens from his coma, the weight of these secrets becomes too much for him. In a violent outburst, he tries to strangle her, but in a desperate act of self-defense, she kills him with a knife. The moment is both tragic and cathartic, leaving the woman to face the consequences of a lifetime of emotional and physical suffering. The young soldier who has visited her throughout the chaos becomes a witness to her final act of violence. In the end, he offers her a small gift, a gold chain and some fruit, a final sign of his affection for the woman who he believes has shown him kindness amidst the madness. But the woman's redemption is not a simple one. She has become a product of her circumstances, and the question remains, does she find freedom in killing her husband, or has she only perpetuated the endless cycle of pain? I think this film is really powerful. It shows how the character deals with both external and internal struggles. The way it portrays her tough choices and how war affects personal life is really intense. The ending is a shocking twist that will leave viewers thinking long after. If you enjoyed this summary and want to see more, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video.